Fuck these. Like, man, I'm trying to work.
Man, I'm trying to get my own shit going. It's tough out here, yo. It's tough standing out. But
No, it's not.
It is tough standing out, yo.
Yo, you know why it's not tough standing out? Because everybody's so much the same.
When it's genuine,
it's so easy.
But that's the thing. But if people don't gravitate to it, it's tough.
But they will.
Like me personally, I feel like I struggle as a writer only because we're in an era where reading isn't a big thing.
Yeah, because I don't read shit, bro.
and then point in case, like, people would rather pick up an audiobook than actually read the book.
Oh yeah, and it's like audiobooks the same crap. I don't give audiobooks the same crap. I'm gonna be honest. I don't read that much, but I'm not gonna pick up an audiobook.
What about an ebook?
Nah, I do the ebook because it's reading.
Okay, see,
so
but
like reading the article online or something.
My personal preference is like when I put out my first book, I only did print. And it was biased because I only liked print. Yeah. So I only wanted people to be able to hold my book physically and to read it. I wanted it to be an experience.
But that's reading.
That's reading. But for me, this is a biased experience, a biased thought again as well too. But to me, ebooks don't give you that same experience, that same hands-on.
It's a podcast.
No, reading.
I said ebook. No, I'm talking about. You talking about ebooks?
Yeah, I'm like saying, an ebook. I don't like ebooks.
I'm talking about. Well, why?
Because ebooks is not the same as holding a physical book.
I mean, yeah, I get
it's
that.
Like it's still interact. Like to me, I like books because it just takes out technology.
I've heard that where it's like people love reading because the turning the pages
and just feeling the paper and then just feeling the material.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's just something about that. It's easier to just dive into the book like that. And to me, I have this philosophy again. This is just a personal thing. I like to feel like I bleed, sweat, and cry into all of my works. I can settle for it being in an ebook, but it's hard for me to transition to audiobooks.
Audiobooks, I just feel like you listen to a podcast. It's not the same thing. So I don't give you credit. They'll tell you you read a book if you listen to the book.
And plus, you're reading the book. You're having that book read to you from somebody else's perspective because you're not reading. You wouldn't read it with that same tone most of the time.
Yeah, nursery teacher.
And then their tone depicts the imagination that you get when you're actually listening to it. Then you forming your own and you're actually reading on your own as well too.
Yeah,
so you don't get the same type of experience between an audiobook and an actual book when you're actually reading it yourself. And plus, when it comes to like ebooks and audiobooks, I feel like there's greater chances of distractions in there, so you don't fully have a consistent stay in with that book when you're reading. There's different things that can interrupt you and take you off that course.
I feel like that's a big disrespect to the author.
And
I feel like that's
to me, writing is art.
Because how would you feel, right? You spent all this time writing this book, you get all your shit down. And then somebody like, yeah, man, I read your book. Yeah. I got the audio version.
Honestly, I feel good as an author. I feel good.
I'm not an author, but I feel
This is why I feel good.
Why the fuck did you buy the audio? It's not a book.
I'll feel good as an author only because as a reader, I only want to take in information in ways I feel comfortable. So, as a reader, if audio is the best way for me to take in that information, I'll take it because it's better than me. This better than me not hearing or taking that information in at all. So now, as the writer now, my words are still being heard. It's not the way that I prefer, but I'm cool with that because somebody still went out of their way to listen to the things that I had to say. So I'll still take that. Like I said, I just have my personal preferences on what I like and what I don't like. That's just me personally.
Speaking of this, right? Let's get on this topic because we've been talking about this. I think it's a very important subject. Are your friends obligated to support your business?
No. I don't think your friends are obligated to support your business. I feel like it's a reflection on if they do or not. But I don't feel like I don't feel like we as friends should put obligations on our friends to support us just because we're doing something. Because if that's the same case, we're obligated to support our friends in everything that they're doing, even if we don't care for it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I just feel like but there's a certain thing about
there's ways you can support as a friend.
I feel like you should support
in some way, but I don't feel like it should feel like an obligation. But I feel like you being a friend, you should feel like you should find some way to contribute to your friend finding some type of success.
Yeah. Because like sometimes you got people that like music for instance. Just because you my friend doesn't mean I have to like your music.
Especially if it's not the type of music that I listen to.
No, especially that, because and then it's like I don't want to sound like I'm being a dick or whatever, but it's like, do you know how many rappers there are?
There's a lot of rappers,
and it's like not even. I'm not trying to put nobody down. I'm just like, yo, listen, if you're gonna be a rapper and you hate yourself, if you got a question, man, and you look like. I sometimes think about it. I'm like, yo, bro, how y'all get into the studio and y'all make this shit? Like, if I was listening to me, I would not like it. And then, like, you put the confidence in yourself, but there has to be a doubt. If there's a doubt about it, there's one thing I've always learned from everything I've ever listened to, everything I've ever heard in my life, everybody I've ever talked to that has some type of success in their life or anything like that. It's the instinct where you know what you're doing.
You know,
it's not a question.
You don't doubt it in no way, shape, or form.
You don't doubt no shape, or form. If you got a question, anything that you're doing, I don't think it's right.
I will flip the end on just say this, just because it's something that I do with myself. I question if I.
No glory. Same book, same story. No guts, no glory. I bring the pain when I'm writing through the pen. They trying to see me lose, but I know I gotta win. In the position.